Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here with another update for you on this third full week of Lent. I'm going to read for you Matthew chapter 5, verses 7 and 8. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. We're continuing to invite you along on this forgiveness journey that we are moving through during Lent, knowing that we all have different needs and experiences of forgiveness. We all are at different stages on this journey. Some of us are very ready to let go of some things. Some of us are not, and that's all okay. Desmond Tutu, who wrote the book of Forgiving, along with his daughter Merciful, talks about there being 4 stages to forgiveness. The first one being telling the story of what happened. The second, naming the hurt, the loss, the pain. The third, actually granting forgiveness. And fourth, choosing whether to restore or release the relationship. And right now, as you move through some of the guidance that we have been trying to give you through Lent, this Lenten prayer daily devotional thing, which is largely based on those 4 movements that I just named, and also this book by Floris Lawson-Wellner that is based on the Beatitudes, moving through this journey. We're somewhere in that space between naming the hurt and the pain and granting forgiveness. And one of the things that's happening in this journey is knowing ourselves to be beloved, to be worthy, to be beloved children of God, to be enough that this journey really matters, that it matters more for us and for our sake as we grant forgiveness than perhaps it does even to those who have given us pain and who have hurt us. And so part of how we find the ability and the desire and the will to forgive and to enter into that stream of forgiveness that God is already sharing with us, inviting us into, is knowing ourselves to be worthy of that gift of forgiveness ourselves. Both someone who needs to be forgiven, but also worthy of letting go of finding a new story, finding a new way through the pain and the hurt and the story that we have of being wounded and hurt. One of the things that's always one of those things that I have to continue to dig into and rehearse as well is what it means to actually forgive. What does it mean to grant someone forgiveness? Well, part of it comes by doing the same thing that I just described, that knowing ourselves to be enough and worthy and beloved. It's somewhat doing the same thing for someone else, especially the person who has hurt us, seeing them as beloved, as worthy, as enough. And this is really challenging sometimes. And for some people, we can read stories and hear accounts of people for whom this was a sudden and all-immersive thing, that they knew of a peace. They found that compassion and that mercy immediately, and it was big and all-encompassing, and that granting forgiveness was able to happen kind of all at once, and it was done. For others of us, I think this comes in waves or in flashes or in bits, in layers. I think that for some of us, it really takes kind of finding again and again and again the humanity and the enoughness and the belovedness of those who have hurt us, particularly when the hurt is extremely deep and traumatic, or if those are those wounds continue to come from somebody that is in your life. This is hard and this is challenging, and it's never forced, and it's never something that's rushed. It's all comes in time. So I invite you to consider this week a little more of how you're feeling in terms of your own worthiness for forgiveness. Again, both a receiver of forgiveness, but also as a giver of forgiveness. Forgiveness is ultimately a gift for those of us who grant that forgiveness when it's on a human-to-human scale. But I also invite you to just consider what it is to be merciful, to be compassionate, to find, to discover the wounds that are common to us all, to find the struggle, the common dreams, the common struggles, the commonalities, the common belovedness that we have with those that are around us. I don't say that to heap guilt on anyone. I say that just as a continued invitation. This is always what we are invited to do. It's just particularly hard with those who have wounded us deeply. So it takes extra muscles. It takes extra time. It takes extra prayer. It takes extra conversation. It may take a lifetime to do this kind of work. Yet it's the very work that Jesus continues to invite us into, that Jesus continues to demonstrate himself, that Jesus continues to this relationship of belovedness that God, through Jesus Christ, continues to invite us into. So, how are you doing with your own belovedness and with the belovedness of those around you, particularly someone who may have hurt you deeply? Continue to bring this in prayer. If all you can do is say, God, I don't feel ready to name the belovedness in another person, that is still a step. That is okay. That is something. And maybe that's the prayer you're in for a long time. That's okay. Allow that to be a step on this forgiveness journey as you need. So you're invited today, Tuesday, to chapel at noon. You can come in person. You can join live streaming. Pastor Ashley Gonzalez is our leader for our Tuesday noon service. We'll have some conversation afterward if you're able to stay on. So the service is 12 to 12:30. 12:30 to 1 will be our conversation time. You also should note that we have some updated COVID protocols over the next coming weeks. Some different things will be happening. You have received some updates in your email. You'll see more about that here. Remember that we are continuing to care for the most vulnerable among us. So we are a mixed community, a diverse community in so many ways. And so just invite you, even as you are perhaps choosing to go without a mask in certain places, to be very aware of our youngest ones around us so that we can keep them safe, those who have no ability to be vaccinated right now. So continue to love one another, to be compassionate for one another. You all have done such an amazing job. This has been a very long 2 years, and we're still in it. So thank you for all the hard work you're doing. Blessings to you all. Peace be with you. You are enough because God is enough, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you.